Adventures in Time and Space. Transcribed in future tense.
Dimension X.
The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X. The war had been going on for generations. The sea and air were ruled by guided atomic missiles. Radiations and total destruction drove man underground, and there the war continued. The great beds of shale and limestone trembled as an underground cruiser chewed its way through the ageless rock. The ship was squat, ugly, the top of its cutting head 40 feet above the clattering caterpillar treads. It was windowless, and behind the grinding duralloy blades were ugly lumps that concealed the guns. On the bridge, Commander Sanderson fought the bucking vibration, one hand tight on a stanchion.
Culver. Aye, sir. What's wrong with the insulation? It's hotter than oven up here.
Port refrigeration unit went out. Starboard can't carry the load. I've got damage control on it.
Go back.
Aye, sir.
Give me a seismo reading.
Severe shock 30 seconds back. Change course to 175 degrees. And half speed, please, sir, so I can chart the strata.
Mr. Culver.
Aye, sir.
175, half speed.
Aye, sir.
Navigation, Lieutenant Watson.
Bridge here. Change course to 175, Watson.
175. Aye, sir.
Clark,
Yes, Mr. Watson.
new course 175.
175, aye.
Half speed.
Half speed, aye.
What?
We hit something. What is it, Mr. Watson?
It's lava, probably. Maybe it doesn't mean anything.
No, I guess not. Mr. Watson,
Yes, Clark?
we ever going to get out of here?
You mean the lava?
The whole business. We've been under rock for 3 months.
You better keep quiet, Clark. Psycho officer has rubber heels.
Oh, I don't care about Carpenter. He's been over me already with those stinking reaction tests. If he gives me one more ink blot to look at,
What's
I'll...
your dial? 1 degree correction.
Right. Mr. Watson, what was it like?
Huh? When?
On the surface. I never saw the surface. I was born in the Denver cave, half a mile down.
Well, that was a long time ago, Clark.
Yeah. But you remember, don't you? You and Kovacs are the only ones on the ship who remember the surface.
It was war then, too. Kovacs was in the army, the infantry. The Queen of Battles. Well, the Queen's dead now.
What was it like?
You mean in the surface wars?
Yeah.
Well, they had chaplains and...
Chaplains?
I guess you never heard of that. Now we have psycho officers. Yeah, they don't talk about religion much these days.
It must have been something on the surface. I dream about that. I don't know what it was really like, but I dream about it. Then somebody takes me and shoves me down on the bottom of a hot closet. They shove a big hand over my mouth and I can't breathe. I wake up and I want to bust out of here with my fingernails. I just...
What's the matter, Clark?
Nothing, Dr. Carpenter.
Nothing?
No, sir.
We were just passing the time, Carpenter.
When's the last time you had an emotional reaction test, Watson?
I don't know. I forgot.
Just remember your seniority doesn't exempt you from psychiatric review. This isn't some slipshod surface vessel with organized superstition aboard.
The old chaplains weren't so bad.
Not scientific.
You know, I can remember when psychiatry and mental hygiene were the hope of mankind. Now look at it.
That goes in my report, Watson.
Yeah? Well, make sure you spell my name right.
Now hear this. Now hear this. Attention all hands. Igneous rock detected. Fresh lava flow. Stand by to go to quarters.
You're lucky, Watson.
That is all.
I'll finish with you later. I've got to check combat detachment.
Sure. Go play with your ink blots. I'm busy.
Now
Go
listen.
on, get out of the way. Get down to the combat detachment. They'll be happy to see you. Clark, check those dampers.
I'll take 3 cards.
I'll stand pat.
Jake to the pat hand.
Combat detachment, huh? What kind of a chicken guy are you?
Anytime you want to start anything, you lying, yelling,
All right. Don't flip your wig.
All right, I don't want no trouble. That rubber-soled rat carpenter, he's worked us all over.
Yeah, all except Norman. Hey, Norman. Norman, how come you ain't been psychoed?
I don't need it. I'm stable.
I bet you any money he's a stoolie for carpenter. I've seen his 201 personnel file. It's blank.
I heard a guy say he was born in a lab.
What do you mean?
You ever seen him eat?
Oh, you're crazy.
The science brass has been working on something like that.
You're crazy.
You know how many men they fell short in the last draft? 900,000.
So what?
Well, suppose you run out of real men for soldiers. Suppose you figure how to make them. Artificial. If they ever do, they ain't gonna talk about it. Till it's combat tested.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Hey, Newman. What do you got inside of you? Gears?
I'm not supposed to talk about myself.
Yeah? Well, suppose I make you talk.
Hey, sit down, Sheriff. Sit down. All right,
Let go of me or I'll lay you out, too.
Hey, cut it.
Keep
Cut it,
going.
guys.
Knock it
Knock
off.
it off.
Shut.
At ease, men. Well, how's everybody feeling? You, Coke?
All right. I'm all right, sir.
Uh-huh. Sheehan?
Let go.
Sheehan?
I'm all right, sir.
Norman?
I'm all right, sir.
Of course. Very well, carry on. Commander Sanderson, I have my report.
Later, Carpenter.
It's rather important, sir. Serious personnel trouble is indicated below.
It always is. Give your report to Culver. I'm busy.
But, sir...
Kovacs, give me a geo reading every 10 seconds.
Aye, sir. Straight as steady as before.
Mr. Culver, later, if you will initial the psycho report.
All right, hurry up. This is no time for non-combat chicken.
Seismo reading, sudden fault, igneous activity ahead.
That means the enemy. Mr. Culver?
Aye, sir.
Elevate the cutters 25 degrees. We're going up and come on the enemy from above.
Aye, sir.
Navigation, Watson.
Elevate 25 degrees.
25 elevation. Aye, sir.
Figures ahead on sonar. Sounds like 3.
All right, sound general quarters.
Aye, sir.
All right. General quarters.
Have all this stinking luck. Aces I got.
Get into your armor, you tubbalot.
Yeah, give me a hand, Shin. The oxygen valve in my helmet's stuck. It's too tight. This helmet's too tight.
You eat too much.
At least I eat. Not like Norman.
Yeah, look at him. Full armor and he's still smoking. I bet he lives on nicotine. Hey, Newman,
Yes?
you live on nicotine?
Tobacco is necessary to me.
Say that, I rope it. What did I tell you?
All right, shut up and test your helmet radio. Snap it down.
Okay.
Now I'll get mine.
Can you hear me? Is my intercom okay?
Okay. Keep the power up.
Newman, check your intercom.
I can hear you. Attention, combat detachment, move out.
We're those chow runners with battle breakfast.
Breakfast, huh? I can remember when I had meat in the chow. When I had cooks instead of food chemists, first class.
Quit griping, Coke. At least we eat.
Yeah, we eat. How about him? Want any breakfast, Norman? No. I don't need breakfast. I can wait without it.
Navigation, Watson.
Bridge here. Half speed.
Half speed, aye. Clark,
What?
what's the matter? You got the shakes?
No, I'm all right.
Half speed.
Half speed, aye.
Attention, all hands. Enemy digger sighted.
What?
Huh?
Prepare for action at close quarters. Enemy digger sighted.
You hear that, Watson?
Prepare for action at
Close quarters.
Full speed forward.
No, I won't.
What? Come on, full speed forward.
No. Not another inch. Stop this ship.
Get away from there.
Let me go. I gotta stop the ship. I won't be killed. I won't be killed.
Get away from the controls, Clark. You hurt? All right, take it easy now.
What? I've got a gun. Stop the ship. Stop it before I shoot you.
Now take it easy, boy.
I won't be killed. I won't let him. I'll give you 3, Watson, then I shoot.
You don't know what you're doing.
I'm gonna stop the ship. 1, 2,
have wounded him, Carpenter. That would have been enough.
My judgment was the clerk was more than a marginal risk. I acted accordingly.
Sure. I'll get a detail to clean up after you.
Well, Doctor, the commander says you rate a citation.
If you had read my report, Mr. Culver, you'd understand.
Carpenter,
Aye, sir.
don't let the crew hear of this. Wouldn't do for them to know an officer was emotionally unstable.
You won't keep it quiet, sir. There was a detail to remove the body.
What's that?
Enemy digger within 100 feet, coming in fast.
Hold it, Culver. Don't reverse engines. Turn on the drill with the tread stationary.
Aye, sir. Full speed drill. Threads cut out.
We'll blow up a cloud of dust that will blind their optical technician in the infrared. Stand by, gunnery. Stand by, gunnery.
Ready, sir.
Enemy will be breaking through any second. There it is.
Halt drill rates. Navigation. Cut out drill. Cut out drill.
Fire when ready. Fire.
Contact signal. Contact signal received.
Cease fire, Mr. Culver.
Contact signal. Cease fire. Enemy battery silent, sir.
Give the go-ahead to the combat men. They can move in. Who tripped that alarm? Cut it off.
Navigation to bridge.
Bridge, aye. What's wrong down there? Why the emergency?
The atomic pile's kicking up. We can't get into hand dam. She may blow any minute.
I'll take over, Mr. Culver. Prepare to abandon ship.
But the enemy diggers,
With
sir.
the atomic pile about to blow, we'll have to advance, destroy the enemy, and take refuge in their ship. There's nothing else we can do. Look alive.
Aye, sir. Attention, all hands. Prepare to abandon ship. Prepare to abandon ship. Kovacs, have the ship's records packed and ready to go.
Aye, sir.
Commander,
Watson, what are you doing up here?
there'd be a lot more chance of getting out if the ship's engines were reversed. She crawled back down the tunnel before she flew.
There's no way to set up remote control.
I know. I thought I could stay and run her.
But the pile's going to blow.
I know.
All right, Lieutenant. Permission granted. You may stay with the ship.
Thank you, sir.
You may go, Watson.
Aye, sir.
We can't let him do that, Commander. You can't ask any man to do that.
This is no time for sentiment, Mr. Culver.
Doctor, you're a louse.
That's an unstable statement, Culver. It's obvious that Watson isn't worth much anyway. He might as well die.
I've heard enough, Doctor. You've had this coming a long time.
Now, get away from me.
Culver!
Pearson, get him!
Let go of me, Culver. Yes, sir.
All right, Kovacs. Release him.
Aye, sir.
Mr. Culver, I need you now, but if we come through this, I'll be forced to prefer charges. Kovacs, help Dr. Carpenter up.
Aye, sir.
All right, Mr. Culver, give the order to abandon ship.
All the men are away, Kovacs. Full speed in reverse.
Aye, Mr. Watson. How long have we got before the pile blows?
I don't know. Kovacs, why did you stay here? You could have abandoned ship with the others.
I've been saving a cigar. I got two. Would you like one?
Oh, thanks. That's good. You didn't answer my question, Kovacs. Why did you stay?
How about you, sir?
Me? I was in the last class out of Annapolis before it went underground and merged into the Geo-Warfare Academy. I guess I just hang on to illusions. Dead traditions of service. I suppose I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I guess that's it when you get down to it.
Kovacs, you saved a cigar against the rules. I've got something, too, here. It's a book. I stole it out of a hotel room in Frisco in the old days.
A Bible.
Yeah. Psycho officers don't allow them on board. Carpenter would have had me in the cells if he'd known about it.
There goes the Geiger alarm.
It'll blow any minute now. Kovacs, you remember this? The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
All right, guys. Now you know what an enemy underground cruiser looks like. Let's board her.
What was that, Sheriff?
I don't know. Come on. The enemy left their landing trap down.
Let's go.
Look out. That's Fontaine. Huh. They kicked in his faceplate.
Watch out for my gun recoil when I go up the ladder. They may be waiting for us.
Where are they? Ought to be some resistance.
Let's get topside. We can sneak into the bridge. We got them. There it is. Bridge hatch.
I don't like this. They should have been guards.
Forget that. You throw open the hatch. I'll cover it with a gun. Got your voice speaker on?
Right.
Okay, open it. Go in there!
Coco, look at them. They're all dead. Every one of them.
This one did it with a sword. Can you beat that? Killed himself with a sword.
Confound this foreign equipment.
Culver, how soon can we get this enemy ship underway? Give me the damage report.
Aye, sir. The port tread knocked out, armor breached aft in the midships, gun batteries inoperable. Lieutenant Adamson estimates we can make limited headway in 2 days.
Very well.
Sir, is it necessary for me to have this guard tagging after me?
You're under arrest, Culver.
Excuse me, Commander, sir.
Oh, go ahead, Coke.
There was a message or something under the guy with a sword when I broke in. I kept it as, well, sort of a souvenir.
Oh, give it to me.
I didn't mean anything wrong, sir.
Hand it over. Culver, you read the enemy language.
I'm afraid I'm under arrest as a prisoner.
That'll do. Go ahead, read it.
From Supreme Headquarters. There's a code designate. To all field commanders. Subject. Secret weapon, X-39. Failure of. 1. Research project X9 released on South America front last night. X9, a semi-living chemical process attacking all forms of protoplasm, was found to be uncontrollable, is spreading through our own armies all over the world. 2, you are instructed to...
Well?
That's all, sir.
Quiet. Gentlemen, there is only one way to interpret this news. Carpenter, you will inform all hands that the destruction of the enemy is worldwide. The war is over.
Hey, Newman, why don't you laugh, huh? Why don't you shout the war's over? I don't need to shout.
Dr. Carpenter,
Aye, sir.
you will instruct cook to serve double rations as a celebration.
No, sir. I strongly advise against it. The psychiatric implications are...
What's the matter?
I don't know. Something it's inside me. I've got to get out.
Carpenter! Coke, Newman, go after him. Come on.
No. That can't happen to a man. Not that.
It's Carpenter. You can see that.
But that can't happen to a man.
He's dissolved. What's going on here?
You don't understand, Commander. You didn't listen to that enemy message. A semi-living chemical process attacking all forms of protoplasm. All forms. Carpenter and you and me. You understand why the enemy killed themselves. They knew. The war's over, all right.
There's got to be something to do. Culver, Sun General Quarters.
It's too late for that, Commander. The war's over. They invented the perfect weapon. The human race is dissolved. That's funny. Dissolved like carpenter. Newman. Is that you?
Yes.
They're all dead. Aren't they?
Yes. Commander Sanderson was the last.
Except me.
I suppose so.
How about you, Newman?
It will not affect me. I am not made of protoplasm. I am an inorganic synthesis.
You can't die, then.
No. I am atomic powered. My breakdown point is calculated in thousands of years. I cannot destroy myself. I was conditioned against it.
It's beginning. You'll be all alone, Newman.
I know.
Buried alive in the rock for thousands of years. I'm sorry for you, Newman. I'm sorry. You'll be all alone. Now, it's starting. I can't stand it.
Why can't I die? Why didn't they make me so I can die like the others? I can't even kill myself. Why can't I die? Why can't I die?
Man has always told himself that he was master of the machine. But will he always be? Listen next week to the story of a nightmare.
Dimension X is transcribed each week by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Treat and Smith, publishers of the magazine Astounding Science Fiction. Today, Dimension X has presented The Last Objective, written for radio by Ernest Kenoy from the story by Paul Carter. Featured in the cast were Lawson Zerbe as Culver, Ralph Bell as Dr. Carpenter, Wendell Holmes as Watson, and Jack Grimes as Newman. Your host was Norman Rose. Music by Bert Berman. Engineer George Mathis. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Edward King.
Dimension X came to you from our Radio City studios in New York. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Check, testing. What's fuck it. Hey, that's my cue. Yeah, baby. Good morning. How are you? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello. Good morning. I'm here. I hear the sound of my own voice in my head there with the headphones on, so I'll remove those. How are we? Hi there. How's it going? Oh, hot. Sweet and hot. So that is Starbucks coffee. We bought a bag of beans and then ground them up. Made some real fresh coffee. It's good. It's not as strong as I thought it would be, so I really over-creamed it. So I'll have to spice it up a little bit with some more coffee. Yeah. Well, my daughter and I had a busy weekend. Busy. Ask me and I'll tell you. Scoo. I got a shirt from it. Huh? Valley Brunch Invitational. It was fun. Ask me. I'll tell you about it. I got photos. Ask me. I'll show you. Yeah, right now I'm going to load my bat box here. I'm not doing bong hits this morning because I'm running low, and I don't want to go get any more until tomorrow. So I'm trying to space it out. Trying to stretch it. Which is fine because I need to slow down on the smoking anyway. So, and when we went to the Invitational on Sunday, of course I didn't smoke any before we left or the drive out there because it was a long day and I didn't want to be like, oh man, I need a nap. So I just didn't. Of course, by the time I got there, the pain was just, man, I was crying. So I got out and walked around so that I could kind of loosen up after all of that driving. You know, walked around, took a couple of hits, I stood in the park by myself playing yo-yo, watching the squirrels chase each other around and gather their nuts and stuff. It was pretty fun. When we got there, we found a group of kids that looked just like my daughter. And so I said, have fun. And took a picture of them and then wandered off so they could do their whatever kids do at 20 years old or however they are. But it was neat. It was ask me about what it was and I'll tell you. It was really fun. Yeah, buddy. We got pictures, videos. And the really fun part is that we're going back again tonight to a different place to see the same person. Yep. Which should be interesting since we just saw them on Sunday. And I'm pretty unforgettable. We should be recognized pretty quick for returning to the scene of the crime. That should be pretty cool. Looks like David shared a reel from Spag West over there. Spaghetti Western. Totally. I feel like I want to make my own screen printer. Right? I really do. I feel like I want to try my hand at screen printing. I don't know why. I have all these ideas for shirts, but it's just like too expensive just to go out and make one shirt, you know? Yeah. I think I will. I think I'll try my hand at doing some dyed shirts. Do some not screen printing, but screen dyeing, stencil dye thing. I don't know. I'm gonna see what I can come up with. Should be interesting. But yeah, so we're driving out to LA tonight. We're gonna go to Sunset Strip. We're gonna go to the El Cid, which is right there in the middle of it all. We're gonna go to the El Cid. We have a private booth reserved, and we are going to hang out. What's really neat is along the way, we're going to stop by Walgreens and pick up some photos from Sunday so that we can actually try to get autographed photos, which will really be weird. And we're getting an extra photo for the 28th because I'm going to get to see Big Sandy on the 28th, and I want to take a photo for him to sign. So it should be really, no, really. So once again, I'm excited. Not only am I excited to have woken up this morning, I'm excited to be alive, but my daughter and I get to go do some stuff again. It'll be fun. Another daddy-daughter date. They've been few and far between because of the university schedule. She's taking another hectic schedule this semester. She's taking 4 days a week, from 2 days a week to 4 days a week. So that'll get challenging with the whole driving back and forth thing 4 days a week. Now I'm sure her classmate, not her classmate, but her schoolmate, that she's pretty much been in school with for the last 10 years, is her university buddy and her commuting partner. So she's going to be going with her as often as possible to commute. But when she can't, that may mean 2 days a week with us. I don't want to hope that her friend has a 4 day a week schedule, because that would be bummer for her. So it would be nice if their schedules lined up. If not, then that's going to leave us some back and forth time that we're going to need to do, which means either my wife or myself will be driving her back and forth. She doesn't have a license yet. She's been too wrapped up in school to really focus on getting a license, doing the driving. She's been behind the wheel, she's driven, she's done all that. But it's hard to find time to go out and drive when she's always doing schoolwork. That's it. Normally we would say, hey, it's a holiday, you're off for like a month, let's go drive a lot. We may do that, but it really is pointless at this juncture, because it's going to be so long before she can actually go down and do her test. I imagine that it'll be this summer. I suggested that she sign up for one of those driving schools and have one of the guys in the car come pick you up. You drive them around for an hour. You got a couple other people in the car. You each take turns driving. When he says, yeah, you're good, then you go down and you take your test. So we may do that just so she can go out and drive with people. Not necessarily. I'm always ready to go out and go for a drive. So I think it's just going to be on her. When she decides that she's ready to start driving full time, then it's going to happen. I'm not going to force her to drive. That's one of those things that you need to be ready for. You need to want to do, right? Being forced to do something like that is really torture. It is. Pardon me, I had a couple of sneezes I had to execute there. Oi. Yeah. So I'm popping the last of my dubage here into the old bat box here. Let's save a couple of hits. And I packed that thing full for Sunday, and I barely dug into it. Of course, I really, really felt the pain Saturday night when I got into bed. That's when I usually feel the most pain, is when I stop moving and I relax for the night and all of my pain catches up with me. All the stuff I've been running from all day, hiding from, avoiding, keeping busy, so I avoid the in-your-face pain. But it's usually when I lay down at night and I relax and I get really comfortable, and then it all hits me all at once. Like, wow. That hurts. All right, so it's Monday. Monday movie memories. Anybody want to talk about a movie? Anybody see any movies lately they want to talk about? I have. My wife and I recently finished watching Psycho, the original Psycho with Anthony Hopkins, sorry. I'm thinking Perkins, the old Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom guy, right? So not Anthony Hopkins. No, that's the other right guy. Anthony Perkins. That is the right guy. Right? Perkins. Anyway, it's the guy from Psycho, right? What the hell is his name? Alright, I think it's Perkins, but Psycho. P.S. Psycho movie. Horror, 1960. I always thought it was 1965. It is Anthony Perkins. Yeah, great movie. The original Psycho, 1960. So it's 20 years later. But I believe that the Psycho 2 was in like 1985 or something. It was like 25 years later. Psycho 2? 2002. See, that's not... Oh, 83. Okay, so it was 1983. So it was 23 years after. In the movie, he mentions it's 22 years ago is when the murders occurred. So, very good movie, Psycho 2. I was actually surprised. I don't remember watching it. I had seen it before, but I only seen it once, and it was back in 84 or 85. And yeah, I just don't remember. I don't even remember Meg Tilly. Meg Tilly, wow. I thought for sure she was going to get iced after the first, 30 or 40 minutes. As soon as she stepped into the shower, I told my wife, it's over, she's dead, she's a goner. But then I started to figure it out, right? I didn't remember anything about the movie, but as the movie progressed, I started to figure out what they were doing, right? And then I was wrong. And then I was right, and then I was wrong. It was really good. Vera Miles coming back to reprise her role as the female lead in the original. She comes back as the mother of a girl who was put into the midst of Norman Bates to make him crazy. I guess I better check to see if I got a dog situation. I'll be back. If you got a movie to suggest talking about, be sure to type in a comment there. Yeah, it's really cool. Totally different head. So, yeah. My daughter is interested in tennis again. And that's... Whoa. No wedgie. Straighten them up, buddy. Straighten them up. Don't bunch them up. Straighten them up. Hi, big face. Up on the couch. Get up on the couch. Get up there. Get up on the couch. There's a blanket up there. Don't worry about it. You don't want to go outside, do you? You want to go outside? Huh? You want to go outside? Go back to bed? You want to stare at me until I can't figure it out? Hi. Want to come up here? No? Want to go on the couch? Go on, get up. Well, good morning. How are you? I didn't know you wanted to say good morning. Good morning. How's it going? How's it going, big face? How's it going? Hi. 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 How are you, big face? Yeah, she's a big girl. How you doing? You doing okay? You doing okay? Are you in pain too? Huh? You got a little pain too? You're a big baby girl? Ah. Yeah, we're pain pals. Hi, pain pal. She has pains. We have similar pains. Yeah. Yeah. You gonna chew on yourself right there? Oh yeah, chew on it, like, chew it. Oh yeah. So yeah. Saturday was fun. I was the only one who wasn't playing tennis, right? I was the only one who went there and sat on a cane stool. Well, there was one other lady that went, but she was actually more mobile than me. I only sat on it a little bit. And then, of course, we went out, my daughter and I went out to Walgreens last night, and we found the cane stool that I want for $10 less, and right here in town. We could have gotten it the other day. Of course, we didn't check that store. So there you go. Don't bump my table. There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get up. Don't unplug my camera, you big doofus. Totally. Totally. It was fun. It was in a big, neat, big, giant old park out there in Encino. We drove right through Movie Town. Hi there. Right through Burbank and North Hollywood area, up in the hills. It was really neat. It was really cool. Come on, go lay down. Oh, she's walking around again. All right. Let me go see what she wants. 'Cause you never know. You never know what she wants. She always wants. Yeah, she wants to go out. I said arg, and I mean arg. Because if I don't say arg, then I don't mean arg, so I wouldn't even say it. But if I mean arg, then I would say arg. And I think I mean arg, so arg. What the hell is he talking about now? The fucking kook? I don't know. Once again, I've had too much sleep. And I'll probably go back to sleep this morning so that I can get up and be refreshed for the drive out to L.A. and the hanging out and the drive back. The good part is I don't have to take my cane stool because my daughter reserved us a booth at the back of the restaurant. So she's like, a booth, and I'm saying, you don't have to sit with me. She's like, huh? I said, no, you're going to do your thing. I'm just there. I'm just there to get a photo op, try to get an autograph, just to hang out. You know, Fall Out Boy is one of my favorite groups, too. They're one of my favorite newer groups, even though they're like, 25, 30 fucking years old. I never knew a Fall Out Boy. I didn't know about Fall Out Boy till my daughter told me about Fall Out Boy a couple of years ago. Other than that, if I'd have heard him on the radio, I'd have been like, I don't know who the hell that is. It's them guys. But, yeah. It's pretty cool. And my favorite guy is the bass player anyway, Pete Wenzel. Pete Wentz, not Wenzel. I was thinking pretzels. Wenzel's pretzels. But he's a really, really cool dude. Really nice, really social, friendly, accommodating, you know. He's not afraid of his celebrity status, you know. Ah, jeez, I got another dog situation. Back in a flash. Ah, yeah, we're going down, down in an earlier round. Honey, we're going down, swing. I think it's Sugar. I'll be your number one with a bullet. A loaded God complex, cock it and pull it. I dig that song. It's a cool song. It's pretty cool. While I have only seen them in concert once, my daughter has seen them 4 times, and twice she's seen other groups play where the lead singer from Fall Out Boy comes in, does a cameo on stage and helps sing a song, which is pretty damn cool. So there you go. And it's kind of weird how they just show up at places, you know. That's pretty neat. That's cool stuff. I gotta heat up this coffee. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Come on, big girl. Come on, baby. Up on the couch. Come on. Up here. Come on. Get up here where it's comfortable. Come on. Okay. Come on, baby. Come on. There you go. Nice and comfy, big girl. Big girl. I know it's hard for your big frame to get comfortable. I know, big face. All right. No wedgie, no wedgie. I'm in. I'm in like Flint. Yeah, like Flintstone. Okay. Well, good morning anyway. How are we today? Been sitting here talking about movies and about the weekend. And, yeah. Let's see, what did I watch over the weekend? I watched Star Wars, the original, on VHS from 1970-something, but one of the original VHSs, this is. I watched MASH, the original MASH. The movie, Stargate. That was a good one. And then I'm sure I watched some other stuff, but you know me, I never remember that shit. Yeah. Totally. Hi, Bessie. Hi, baby. You're a good girl. I know. Pain sucks. You're okay, baby. I know I'm going to have to look into some kind of pain medication from a dog. We have similar pains. She's making funny faces looking in the kitchen. Yeah, I was told when we first met her before we brought her home, that she's got cancer, and it's inoperable, and she can't be, fixed, right? Because of it. So I don't know anything about all of that. Yeah. But I can see in her face that sometimes she's finding it difficult to get comfortable. And I'm going to make the same promise to her that I made to our dog Charlie, who lived for 17 years. And I'm going to let her live as long as she wants to live. And I'm not going to have her put to sleep if it's to make my life easier, right? If it's to make the end of her life less painful, and it seems like that's, going to be the better thing, then I will consider it. But if it comes down to it just being difficult for us, then we suffer, then we suffer. The dog has put in enough time in this family to get enough respect to live out the rest of the animal's life, with family. And in some cases it's necessary, but in most cases it's not really necessary to have an animal put to sleep. It's just cheaper and easier that way on the people. It's less of a financial burden and less of a physical burden to take care of the animal. I don't go that route, mainly because my pets are family. They are part of the household, and if they're around, even a week in the family, they get the same respect as somebody who's been in the family for 10 or 20 years, right? So, no, I can't in good conscience ever think about putting an animal to sleep unless it's for the very best interest of the animal's comfort, right? Then that's it. That's the only reason. Animals and pets who have put in the time in a family deserve that respect, of being allowed to live a full life, and that means all of it. Not being cut short because, well, it's going to cost too much, or somebody's going to have to keep staying home with the dog, Well, then stay home with the dog. Hire somebody to watch the dog. Whatever you got to do, but damn it, that dog deserves the respect. That you're not gonna bump off one of your kids because you don't want to change the diapers anymore, right? Which is essentially it. You don't want to get bump off grandpa because you don't want to change the diapers. So there. If no one wants to change my diapers, then I'll just sit and shit, right? I mean, that's the respect that you get after so many years in a family. That it's just easier to give them a shot and say goodbye. Then no, I can't go there. I know people out there are going, oh my God, how can he say that? Of course, most of these people are the people who had animals put to sleep, and they're wondering, how could I say these things? Well, yes, because I'm me. How can you put your animal to sleep after it's put in so many years in your family? And, not worth the time anymore. I mean, how much do you really invest with your pet anyway? How much time do you spend with your pet? Is your pet really a member of the family, or is it subjugated to a cage, relegated to backyard, leash, in a dog run, put the dog out? How big a family member is your pet? Or do you just say that because that's what people say, right? No, my pets are my family. They are my life. If they enter into this household as one of us, then they remain one of us until they pass away naturally. That's it. That's all I can say. I can't condone doing that ending an animal's life unless you know for sure and for certain that the animal is just going to be better off because of the pain, right? It has to be about the pain, not finances, not, burden. It's got to be about the dog's comfort. That's the only reason you should consider putting an animal to sleep. I'm sure you go to vets and they say, well, it's going to cost X. It's just going to be cheaper to put them down, right? You need a new vet. You need a new vet. We've got a vet in the family now. One of my wife's nieces is just graduating from vet school and is actually, you want to go to bed? Interning. And then we'll be coming back to California from Arizona to practice. So, there you go. She's getting water. I thought she wanted to go back to bed or go out. So, pardon my bump. Yeah, it would be neat to be able to get our dogs down to a vet who really gives a shit. And who isn't just in it for the money, because a lot of them get into it because they love pets and they love animals and that kind of stuff. But at some point, they flip over to it being all about the money. It's like, oh no, we can't afford to do that. We can only take care of these kinds of animals. We have to charge them X amount of dollars. We can't give any freebies. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't be human. Yeah. So you got to go to those big-time country doctors, country vets that don't have an office, work out of their home, that kind of stuff. Because that's all they can afford, because they do it humanely. They actually help. They're not just in it for the cash. If they're in it for the cash, they got a big fucking building, brand new everything, this place is overstaffed, and there's way too much money going out, so they need to overcharge people. That's ridiculous. I've done the math. Pardon me. And it's cheaper. Dog's sitting on the couch there. Bumped my camera a little bit. It is actually cheaper for me to go see a doctor than for my dog to go see a doctor. Where's the logic in that? Without insurance, it's cheaper for me to go see a doctor than it is to take my dog to the vet. Without insurance on either side, right? That's fucking crazy. Yeah, there's something wrong there. There's something really, really wrong there. And then, the quality of care, right? I don't understand any of it. Dog is doing circles on that couch over there. Good girl. Yeah, when she spends this much time trying to get comfortable, I know that there's something physically bugging her. When they stop eating, that's when you really have to be concerned. When their eating habits change. Yeah. Poor old girl. I know, she's up again, looking at me like, this sucks. I don't know what you want me to do, baby. Believe me, I know what you're going through. Hurts, don't it? It hurts, don't it? Remember that? Hey, you want a donut? You want a Hertz donut? Okay. Hurts, don't it? How many kids fell for that? And then turned around and did it to somebody else. That always sucked, right? Oh, man, that hurt. Hey, come here. You want a Hertz donut? Oh, man, that hurt. Hey, man, come here. And it just go on and on and on and on from the next kid to the next kid to the next kid, From bully to bullied, and then the bullied becomes the bully, and then the bully goes and bullies someone else, and then the bullied becomes the bully, right? Poor dog. No, really, it's impossible to go to a vet out here. I mean, they want, like, over $1,000, right? Just for cleaning teeth. They want thousands of dollars for a tooth removal, right? I can go get a tooth removed for $100 fucking bucks, right? It's just fucking ridiculous. How they just fucking gouge and gouge and gouge and leave you with the only option of a dog suffering or putting your dogs to sleep because there are no other financially viable options, right? Now, when we get there, put me to sleep. Put me to sleep and just save the fucking money, right? Because what's going to happen is the family will go into debt, right? Or have to live below the poverty line, right? Which is pretty much where we're at now, living below the poverty line so that we can have access to health insurance. And that's just ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. Having no choice but to live dirt poor, because the alternative is working your ass off to bring home X amount of dollars and then being forced by the government to give that money away to purchase insurance that does nothing for you. Where's the logic in that? You know? Mandatory insurance that gets you nothing? Fuck you, government. Fuck you, United States government, and your bullshit, fucked up, backward policies that only get people rich and fuck everybody else. You know, there's companies and corporations and assholes in yachts making money off of our backs, right? And people just go along with it. People just fucking go along with it. Oh, these are the rules. These are the rules we live by. These are the laws of society. Give me a fucking break. People need to stand up and fucking change shit. You know, how do you do that? You just say no. You just fucking say no. I ain't doing that anymore, no. That's why I stopped working for assholes. I just said, no, I'm not working my ass off so you can whine about how little you have to pay me. Oh, I'm gonna pay you. Oh man, here, you're bleeding me dry. Fuck you, I'm earning this. Fucking bosses. And they're fucking, oh, I gotta write checks. Why don't you fucking do the work yourself then, asshole? You know, every fucking payday was always like bleeding these fuckers, you know. And then they would fuck their business up, you know. And then what? We get screwed over it. No raises, no bonuses. Well, fuck, learn how to run your fucking company, asshole. So many fucking goddamn paint companies I worked for. The guys were just fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. That, like, everything would be going great, and then they'd find a way to fuck it up. I'm going to buy a new truck. What? You can't afford to buy a new fucking truck. You can barely make fucking payroll, right, every week. And you're going to buy a new fucking truck? What an asshole. Don't worry, we're going to get a company truck, too. Well, we can't afford that, but we're going to double down. Idiot. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiots. I swear to God. Hey, can I get a raise? Pfft, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, you can have a raise. You're laid off. Here's your raise, and you're laid off. Driving home Saturday night, and I'm glad it didn't happen at the event, but we're in the car, and I'm like, oh, I straightened up my glasses, and it went, oh, crap, and the lens fell out. Another screw dropped out. Son of a bitch. So I just pull them off, lens and glasses, and hand them to my daughter, reach in, pull out my other pair, put them on. She jams it all, the pieces into my glasses container. So I fixed them. My wife purchased me a little sunglass repair kit, that I put into the little tube repair kit. Kind of combined two kits together. So I have an extra pair of glasses with bifocals so I can see what I'm doing when I'm fixing them. And then I have a kit with me so that I can repair them properly while I'm out in the world. I didn't have time because I was driving. Had we been on our way somewhere, I would have gotten there and then fixed the glasses and then worn those glasses. Because bifocals are kind of a bummer, especially when you're driving. But out walking around, everything is blurry down here, you know. So, yeah. It was pretty cool Sunday. Pretty cool. And cold, too. The sun only came out for like an hour. That overcast sky near the coast. Yeah. Yeah. It was a fun trip. I'm not sure how it was as far as distance. You know, we may have been the furthest to travel for Sunday's event. We went 2.5 hour drive to get there. A normal 2 and 15 minutes, but it was a 2.5 hour drive, which seemed normal. A little bit of traffic. We probably hit 20 minutes of traffic. Got out there and just ran over to McDonald's real quick, and I had a fish sandwich. My daughter had some nuggets, and then we were at the event because we went to the drive-thru and then drove right over to the park a couple of minutes away and ate and watched people show up and things go on, and then we walked around and found that group of kids that looked just like my daughter. It seems like, you know, it goes in phases, you know. If it would have been me, I'd have showed up and there would have been a bunch of leather jackets and mohawks and long hair and spikes and chains and stuff. And it was kind of like that, you know. Here's the new in crowd, you know. This particular in crowd. Oh, and my daughter makes little bracelets where she writes things on them and then gives them away and trades them with people and stuff. So she always makes a bunch before she goes to one of these. She actually gave a few to Pete Wentz. And of course he handed it off to his people. So, but he was really excited when she asked him to sign her tennis racket that she had just bought for this event. So I'm like, oh, looks like, and she earned by getting the ball over the net and into the little, what do you call it? The sweet spot, right on the court. She won the opportunity to go over and get 2 prizes. So she brought back 2 cans of tennis balls that were signed. He signed. I watched him sign them when I was out walking around. Hey, what's up? Hey, dude. And he was over there signing them. So he signed like 60 of these things. And then my daughter got 2 of them. I got some Liquid Death memorabilia, plus my hat. The Liquid Death hearse was there. Really good-looking, brand-new hearse. All decorated Liquid Death, 66, and all kinds of stuff there. And they had a big coffin they opened up with ice in it, and it was just loaded full of Liquid Death. I didn't realize that Liquid Death is just flavored sparkling water. That's it. Or maybe that was the sparkling water was what they were serving there because it was an event, and they didn't want to give out that, you know, stop your heart shit. That is cold. All right, I'm gonna heat up my coffee and do some hits, and then we're gonna talk more. I'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wedgie, no wedgie. Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm back, babies. So, yeah, another fun night, day out, doing the whole celebrity thing. That was fun. I've never been one for celebrity. I've never been like, ooh, gosh, you know, and I'm still not. But the actual back and forth meeting of someone whose music you listen to, right? That's neat. Shaking the hand of someone, you know, oh, his hands play the bass that I listen to, right? His hands play that guitar. Hey, dude, how's it going? Hey, man, nice to meet you. Hey, that voice, I hear that voice singing on the record, right? That's what kind of makes it neat. You gotta get a full circle connection to the music. That's it. I mean, nothing googly or, ooh, you know. It's neat. It's fun. It's exciting. It's real. It's personable, you know, and it's social. It's very, very social. And Pete Wentz of Fall Out Boy, the bass player, he's a really nice, sociable guy. He had his girlfriend there, and his 2 young kids, and then his 2 older kids from, I believe, another marriage, or from a marriage. He's really nice. Kids were all nice, you know. The little ones were monsters out there running around, having a ball. Tennis balls bouncing everywhere, you know. It was like 100 rackets and a couple of 100 people, and lines to you know, to go play. So you get on a line, and when it's your turn, you get up there, and they serve a couple of balls, and if you make it, then you move to the other side, and you stay over there until you get booted and somebody else moves in, right? And so it's kind of a rotation thing. So my daughter was in the beginner one where they were just kind of trying to get it over the net and into the sweet spot. She did that twice, and she comes over to me and she's like, I'm done. I said, well, why don't you go stay on that line for a while? She's like, I was thinking about it. So she goes over and she asks his tennis coach, and he said, yeah, go check it out, go get in there. So of course she hit 3 or 4 balls and they just went wee, they just went wild, right? Pressure. But she did it. She went out there and she's really excited about playing tennis again. So I imagine we're going to get her another tennis racket and probably 2 more tennis rackets so that we have the opportunity to play together. I have bad knees and back and horrible, painful life, but I'll get out there on the tennis court and, you know, serve them to my daughter so she can, you know, I'll serve them and my wife and daughter can bat them back and forth, right? And trying to get my daughter one of those little cheap ball serving things. I think that right there is going to be important. Nothing real expensive, just something small where you can feed a bucket of balls into it, and then and it kind of does a little bit of back and forth and shoots balls, right? That would be neat. You know, do 30 or 40 balls and then pick them all up, throw them in the thing again, do it again. Get a ball grabber, right? One of those little ball grabbers where it grabs the ball, and every ball that it grabs, it stuffs the last ball up into a basket, and then you pull the trigger and it opens it up and dumps them. Those can't be too expensive either. So if we can get her a few items that she can feel, you know, like, I want to get out and play tennis today. I've got some free time. I want to go out. That's what I want. You know, and like Pete said, you know, there's a whole world of fun and excitement and things to do right outside your fucking door. Right? So we're trying to take these messages to heart and act on them. I won't be as mobile as my daughter, but I will be as mobile as my body will let me. So there. Yeah. Let's see, I think I'm going to take one of these edibles here. What the hell, why not? Tangerine. That's tasty. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Yep. It melts in your mouth and on your hands and in the bag and everywhere. But it's good. Oh, I'm going to eat a cereal bar too. So, it was pretty fun. I took a lot of pictures. Oh, what was really neat is my daughter is like 3 courts away. A couple of the guys, 4 of the guys are over there playing doubles, right? And they're back and forth, back and forth. My daughter's watching. We're over here watching, kind of zooming in, checking stuff out. And she looks over and she says, "You know what? I think that guy in the white shorts is Zach, the drummer for Paramore." And I'm like, "Go on, get out of here. How do you recognize these people? They just look like normal guys to me, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think it is." So later on the way home, she's like looking through stuff and she says, "Yeah, that was him." I said, "Oh, good. I got a picture of all of them standing together, the 4 of them standing together after they played." She said, "Oh, well, that's cool." So she took all of the phones, all of the pictures from my phone, set them over to hers. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, fun stuff. Everybody signed waivers so that we could all be in the social media videos and photographs and all that stuff. Also, they did these pictures at the end. It's like, okay, we're wrapping it up, and security's like, "Man, we don't want to do like 1 photo per person, or 1 person at a time photos." He said, "Get 4 people up there at a time to take a photo." So nowadays, it's easy to do that kind of stuff. One girl walked up, handed her camera to Jules, the lady who's taking the photos, right? And I think it was Jules. And she takes a photo, gives the girl back her phone. Those 4 girls walk to the side, give her their email address. She sends them each a copy of the photo, like that, right? And I'm like, wow, you kids have got it going on, right? That was so cool. So, it's like the first 4 girls that were just in line. They just all, my daughter, of course, the first. My daughter gets in right next to Pete and take the photograph. She gets her racket signed, and he just gets a big grin on his face when she asked him. And she was really happy. She was really happy about that he got excited about signing her tennis racket. And then she stepped aside and got her picture from the girl via the email. And it's a nice picture with her and, 3 strangers and Pete. But I said, "So aren't you glad that I got a picture of you and Pete?" She said, "Yeah." Because I hit him up. I said, "Hey, man, how's it going, dude? I really, appreciate you doing this. Thanks for getting my daughter back into tennis. This is really cool. Thank you so much. Can I get a photo?" So we did a selfie. I've never done selfies with a celebrity before. So I did a selfie with a celebrity. There's a first. And then, "Can I get a picture of you with my daughter later?" He says, "Yeah, no problem." So my daughter walks up. I said, "Hey, can I get that photo with my daughter?" So he says, "Yeah, I'll be right back." And he came back, did a photo. I got 2 snaps. And then my daughter's like, "Can I get a selfie?" Never happened. He was too busy. He said, "Yeah, in a minute." And then he got sidetracked. I think we were being greedy anyway. We wound up with 3 photos with Pete. And that's pretty good. That was, yeah. So we were being greedy anyway. So we got our photos. Now we're gonna double down, and we're gonna pick up those photos from Walgreens and see if we can't get him to sign them tonight. And that'll be my daughter's mission. Will be to go and try to get him to come and sign. And I'm just going to sit at the booth. I'm going to sit at the booth and hope that at some point he walks by and I could say, hey, sign this. Or we're going to try to get there early, so we might just bump into him ahead of time. I'm going to actually take a book. Right? I know it sounds kind of weird, but I'm actually going to take a book and sit in the back in the booth. And if I have the light, then I will sit and read. I'm kind of hoping that I get at least a minute to talk to him, because I just heard that he's written a couple of books. So I'm going to be like, hey, I just heard that you're doing the book thing. So that's cool. I can't wait to check out your books. And then, of course, I'll have a book that it's already in my bag. I'll have a book that I'm reading. And, yeah, I don't know. I'd give him my book and get a new copy if he was interested in checking it out. Lay down. Good girl. Lay down. You're a good girl. You're okay. Yeah. I know, baby. Can't get comfy, huh? My forehead's wrinkled up, too. Like that. Yeah. Hi, baby. Totally. Well, we'll see. No expectations, no demands. It would be nice. So we'll take a couple of pictures with this already printed out. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. What I'd like is to have a really nice printer in my car. And then go to a show out at Pappy and Harriet's locally here. And get out there early and get a photo. Get an actual photo with the celebrity. And then take it to my van, print it, or car van, print it out. And then take it into the show. And then after the show, get them to sign it. Right? That would be just, oh. But this is a unique opportunity, getting to see somebody only a day apart, right? Twice within a couple of days. That is kind of a rare opportunity that I can't pass up. I can't pass up the opportunity to go actually get an autograph photo of being with the celebrity. That right there is too good to be true. So I'm hoping that because of our repeat customer status, right? Our frequent flyer miles might actually get us a little bit of recognition. Like I said, I'm pretty hard to forget. Hey, where's that? There's that hobo guy again with that beautiful daughter. He was a little needy. But hopefully he'll just say, hey, he was that nice old guy. Right? If I can get that, then I'm good. You know? That nice, weird old guy. That right there is a compliment. But yeah, my daughter, she's like, I said, okay, let's find out a few things. Let's call the venue. See if we can talk to somebody about where to park and seating, if there's going to be any place to sit in this place, right? And so we call, and it just rings and rings and rings and rings and rings and rings, and the message thing is full, and it's like, oh, fuck it. So she's like, well, I'll just send him an email. So she sends an email. The lady gets right back to her, right? Which was way cool. And gives my daughter all the information she needs and asks if we want to reserve a friggin' booth, right? How cool is that? So Yeah, I'm going to have a booth all to myself. I was actually contemplating, am I going to let somebody sit there with me? I'm going to have to play it by ear. Right off, I would have to say no. I don't want to be stuck for 2 or 3 hours at a table with complete strangers who turn out to be shit faces or something, or assholes, or drunks, or, politically driven or something. I don't want to go there. So my thing is going to be, no, this booth, leave the reserved thing on the table so people know that this is reserved. And I'll just say, no, they're out moving around. I got people, and they when they want to come sit down, they'll come sit down. So yeah. So I'm going to take the photos and a book and my phones, and make a Wi-Fi hotspot in there and be able to do phone stuff and be able to read and listen to the music, whatever. I can listen to music and read at the same time. I'll probably take the book and get a few minutes of reading, honestly. But having the book will at least give me a reason to talk books with Pete if he happens to mention, hey, what are you reading? Then I can mention, hey, my daughter said that you've got some books. Can't wait to check them out. Maybe he's got a copy. Maybe I can get an autographed copy from him. I don't know. My daughter wants to do the raffle. They're doing a raffle, so she's going to bring some cash for the raffle. And that'll be neat. That'll be neat. Yeah. Oh, back to Hollywood. Right there in Hollywood. Right there on Sunset. Sunset. Wow, it's going to be great. And it's just a few hours away, right? I mean, in 13 hours, the doors open. We're going to be out in I guess there's a place, it's all street parking. So we need to get there early, super early, and get us a good place, safe place to park. And then she needs to get in line super early so we can get in there. It doesn't really matter when we get in as far as she's going to want us to get a good place to stand, right? She's just one person. She'll be able to just kind of wiggle up, maneuver to the front, right? And not really have to worry about getting us a spot up front. I told her I'm not going to be doing that whole running around thing. I'll be saving my energy for the driving. But this should be a blast. I'm kind of wishing that she had a friend to take too, to kind of go out and play around with. But she's really social. She gets along with just about everybody, and she meets people easily, and she's very friendly and kind and courteous. Totally. And she's nice and funny. She's got a beautiful smile. She has a wonderful smile. Very inviting. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Time to rock. So after this, I am going to be trying to wind down to go to sleep. And try to get into bed by 9 or 10 so that I can sleep till about 1-ish. And then we're going to leave at about 3. So that gives me 2 hours to get up, get my act together, eat a little something, and then take a shower and get the hell out of here. Totally. And I'm glad I trimmed up my beard for the weekend because it really looked good in the photo. I'll have to bring up the photo here of me and Pete Wentz. Very, very cool. Totally cool. Coolness. Totally cool. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Ah, jeez. I don't want to forward it. I want to open it up and save it. Yeah. Alright. Come on. Alright. Let me take these two and move them over to mornings. There we go, baby. Alright. And now I can go to morning show elements and I can pop these two photos up. Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. I love nice people. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right, there's me and Pete Wentz. There's me and Pete Wentz, the bass player from Fall Out Boy. Very cool. Very cool guy. Really sweetheart of a guy. You know. He's the voice of the band on stage. When you see him on stage, he's the one that talks. I don't. My daughter has to tell me who all these people are. So when the lead singer is done singing, he don't say much. The bass player speaks. Pete speaks. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a cool shot. That's a totally cool shot there. There's my daughter and there's Pete. Yeah, that's very neat. I really love it when she gets her little dreams to come true, you know? Because the big dreams are hard to get to come true. But when the smaller ones come true, and then the ones that you think are small dreams but turn out to be big fantasies, and they come true, right? And when she was graduating from high school, she started to dream. She started to think outside of her comfort zone, outside of the box, you know. And she went to her first concert in 2021 and saw Harry Styles. And then the next year went back and I got to go see Harry with her. And ever since then, that second concert, she's just been like, okay, in 2 weeks we're going to another concert. Okay, in a month we're going to another concert. Okay, next month we're going to this concert. And she's just I think she said if she gets a concert in September and a concert in December, she will have something happening every month this year, right? And I'm just like, wow, that's so awesome, right? And I think she did. I think she did it. I think she got something. She went to an event every month, at least every month this year. Wow. Sometimes twice. Sometimes twice in 1 month. She'd go to an event. I think she even did a threefer, you know. Whew. Yeah. And it's not just luck. She's doing this all. She's making all of this happen, you know. And I'm hoping that, even though I mostly set bad examples and teach her what not to do by example, don't do what I'm doing. I think that the one thing that I've taught her that's really important is to chase those dreams, chase those people down. Go ask. All they can do is say no. You know, go ask. Go get that autograph. Go talk to that person. Go say hi. Get a photo. Don't just relegate yourself to being shy, flower on the wall. Don't do that. I did that. Don't do that. Go out and have fun. Enjoy your life. If you buy tickets someplace, get the most out of it. You know, if you're going to go do something, get the most out of it. And I've only started doing this the last couple of years because of her. So because she's taking me out to doing all of these things, I'm trying to pass that message along to her that, hey, go for it. You know, if it wasn't for her, I would never have thought about going out and getting somebody's autograph, running backstage and getting an autograph real quick. I'd have never thought about that. But she set those wheels in motion, right? She did that. So I'm trying to pay back by saying, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, look at me, old and broken and crabby and crusty and depressed, and I can go out. I'm afraid of my own shadow, and I can go out and hit somebody up. Yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. And the smile on my daughter's face, that is a real smile right there. We're not a teethy smile family. We don't do that. We smile how we feel, you know. And she is really happy in that photo. You could see it in her eyes. Her eyes are smiling. Her face is smiling. Her body is, she's got her body language. She says, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's awesome. I love my daughter. She's awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Yeah. So we're back out again tonight. Of course, usually when we go out, on our way home, we get In-N-Out. We did that Saturday night. We're not going to have In-N-Out twice in 1 week, especially only a day apart, right? So I'm like, well, we're going to be right there in Hollywood. There's going to be a million places to eat. This place is going to have food. They're going to have bar food, right? We might just, since we have a table, we might just eat something there. You know, it's like, okay, we've got, you know, the kitchen's open still. Let's get something here and just eat here before we take off. And we'll just get a little finger food we can split, right? Some nachos or a hot dog or something, right? They're going to have something. They might even have burgers or chicken sandwiches or something. So we'll kind of see what they got going on and decide, okay, well, look, the kitchen's going to close here. So just before they close, let's get our order in. And then she can sit down for a minute and scarf down some food, you know. And I'm really hoping that by having a table, we'll actually get an opportunity to get Pete to come over and sit down for a minute and hang out and talk, you know. And I'd love to get somebody to take a picture of us sitting in a booth together. That would be fucking awesome, you know. I'm seriously thinking about putting together my daughter a box frame for her stuff, right? Because she's got a tennis racket that's signed. She's got 2 ball cans that are signed. She's got the T-shirt from the day. She's got a photograph that we're going to autograph. And we'll try to get another photo tonight, right, for a little smaller photo. Because we can put smaller photos in the frame, you know, tennis and playing tennis and swinging. So, and then whatever other memorabilia we can come up with from this weekend, we can just put into a, you know, when I got to meet Pete kind of a thing. And that is one of those things that she's going to want to keep forever. She's got concert posters in frames on her wall. She's got a lot of concert posters she hasn't even hung up yet. She's got photos that she hasn't printed yet. T-shirts up the wazoo. I mean, I've got so many T-shirts, and she is a close second with me. I've got like almost 100 T-shirts, and she's like, she's coming up close, right? She had to reorganize one of her drawers because of T-shirt over, you know, powering. So and I'm in the same boat. I have to free up another drawer. I've got 2 full drawers with T-shirts, and now they're spilling over, so I need to do another drawer with T-shirts. They're packed in too tight. You pull one out and it just explodes. So I'll have to figure that out. I guess it's time to eat something here. Yeah. But hey, we are the Monkeys. What a fun weekend. And it ain't even over yet, you know? It's Monday and the weekend isn't over. Wow. Wow. I hope you all enjoyed the video Time Machine on Friday. It was a doozy. I loved it. The Stanton Brothers, that was great. Back when it was okay to make Joes about different races and religions and politics and stuff. Now everybody just takes themselves way too fucking seriously. He said, what? Oh my God, we're gonna boycott everything he's ever done in his whole life. Give me a fucking break. Right? Quit taking yourselves so fucking seriously that you can't make fun of yourself and nobody else is allowed to make fun of you. Give me a fucking break. You know? I just love the fact that that 90s show has that gay kid on there who is okay with being gay, and it's okay to make the jokes and to laugh. It's like making fun of the fat kid. It's okay to make fun of the fat kid because the fat kid laughs at himself too, right? The jock laughs at himself because he's a jock. You know, that 90s show is great because we got all of those normal characters willing to make fun of themselves and laugh at their own reality, right? My fridge is making noises again. I have to turn it off and turn it back on again. At some point, I should probably take the back off of that refrigerator and blow it out. If the hair that we sweep up every day is any indication of what the inside of that thing looks like, we need to do it. Yippers. It ain't gonna happen today, though. I had my daughter, you know, because we usually go to these things, just the two of us, because they're usually kind of a drag and sometimes expensive. We don't usually like to leave the animals alone too long. Or my wife is doing something during the day, and by the evening she's like, I ain't going to that. I'm tired. So I was like, man, why didn't we get Mama a ticket to this? You know, and they're all sold out. You know, especially now that we know we got a booth. Yeah. Oh well. Next time. So cool. Interesting tattoo there. Hey. I'm just staring at my daughter's face in this picture. She looks so happy. My favorite part is the thank you hug after these things that we do, and my daughter's like, thank you for taking me. And she gives me a big hug. You know, that's my favorite part, is the thank you hug afterward. And all I'm doing is driving. She's doing all of the legwork. She's getting the tickets, doing some of the times I make her pay for gas and food, right? It's like, this is your thing. I'm just the hired driver, right? But she takes really good care of me. This one and the last one, I'm taking care of it because it's not one that she's paying for. It's just a sign up thing. You sign up to get on the list to get in. That's it. So, and my wife is like, last night she's like, "You're going again? You're gonna go? You're really gonna go?" And I'm thinking, I told her I have to go. She had so much fun, and she so wants to go to this one, and she deserves it, right? She earned this. She's kicking ass. She said she's probably going to get all straight A's this semester, her first semester at university, after just being frustrated and struggling with it. She's going to get A's. And I'm like, how can I tell her no, right? There's just no way. I mean, she so totally deserves this night out, right? The whole tennis thing, the night out, whatever. She wants to do this, every week of her vacation. That's fine. That's fine. I'm there. I'm going to do it. It's going to wear me out like a mofo, but it's worth it. It's worth it to get that thank you hug at the end and to see that smile in her face, And she earned it. She's paid for these trips with blood, sweat, and tears, working her ass off at university. So, yeah. Oh, baby. Anytime. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. We spent a lot of time out in Hollywood when I was a kid. When I was really young, of course, my family was all over Hollywood back then, back in the 70s and 80s. Back in the 80s, as a teenager and a young adult, my friends and I would frequent Hollywood and Los Angeles and stuff a lot, a couple times a year at least, to go to concerts or just to go out and hang out, follow local bands out to the Troubadour, Yeah. Totally. And to be able to introduce that to my daughter and know that it's okay to go to Hollywood. It's okay to cruise out to LA. You know, there's nothing to be afraid of. Her and her friends just went out there and had a blast, right? And now they're going to do it again in like a couple of months and go out to the Dodger Stadium and stay overnight. Yeah, it's so very cool to be in Southern California, living in Southern California, and know that you can just cruise over to Hollywood. It's right there. You can get your Hollywood SoCal on. You know, there's always something to do. There's a million clubs now, a million venues to see plays, see bands, and whatever. Fucking crazy. So much stuff going on nowadays. Yeah, it's really exciting. Exciting times. And for a long time, I was like, how am I going to get my daughter out into the world socializing, right? How am I going to do that? Because she's always been kind of shy like me and kind of a homebody and, you know, kind of like, I'm not really into people, that kind of a thing. But I don't want her to have the same kind of bummers, head trips that I have. So I was like, how am I going to get her out and doing stuff? And then she started wanting to go to concerts. And once she got to the point to where she's paying for these things herself, right? It's gotten to where she's like, oop, there's a show, I'm going. Oop, there's a show, I'm going. There's a show, Dad, can you take, we're going to a show. You know, just talk to my friends, we're going to a show. And it's like, you know what? Now she's out in the world. And all it took was her love of music. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm going to have to heat this up. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Because if you do, I'll come looking for you. That's me. Just a crabby old, partially disabled, semi-retired guy. That's it. I'm starting to talk to myself there. I was starting to talk to myself, which is what I normally do. Without this show, I would just be sitting in here talking to myself. But I have the cameras on, so I don't have to be alone. I can just blah, 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 and it goes straight to YouTube. And then it's put onto a playlist as a video, and bada bing. Bada frickin' bing. I'm a superstar. I will probably be a celebrity after the fact. When I'm gone and my videos and stuff live on after me, then I'll probably be a success. It's like, yeah, there's that crazy guy, yeah. What do you mean he's not around anymore? Ah. Hear me now and forget about me later. Because that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's said that a person's memory only lasts about 2 generations, right? And then after about 2 generations, everyone who knew that person is gone. So what is the purpose of anybody remembering somebody that they never knew? through pictures in a book and videos and stuff, right? So after about 2 or 3 generations, they're just no more, right? We only exist as long as we're remembered, and we're only remembered a couple of generations unless we do something memorable or leave some kind of a legacy behind us, which is what people try to do to be remembered. The Carnegie Foundation, right? The Rockefellers, they exist through their name and their wealth, their power, their real estate. I think another reason why these great giant structures were built was, you know, for whatever purpose, but at the same time, you can't forget somebody, even though you don't even know who the fuck they are. You can't forget them when they got this big giant pyramid sitting in front of you, right? What is the, you know, what was the point of Mount Rushmore? Was it so that in 10,000 years, when that thing has completely fallen to rubble, and the earth has been twisted and turned so many different times, there's only a nose poking up out of the ground that doesn't even really resemble a nose anymore? Will we even know to dig it up to see the rest of George Washington's face? Probably not. You know, will there be anyone around to dig it up or to give a shit? Probably not. Right? I mean, the way things are going, we're pretty much screwing ourselves over. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we did really good on gas. We'd spent less than a half a tank going out there and back to Encino, which is remarkable, because while we are in a hybrid, I'm pretty much relying on the motor. You know, when you're doing 75 and 80 and shit, you ain't using electricity when you're doing that fast. You're barely getting your batteries charged going that fast. But it's great in traffic because all of that stop and go, you're not using any gas at all. And we did hit a bit of stop and go. But we topped the tank off before we left. So when we got out to Encino, we were just under a full tank, right? Not even down to a 7/8, which was really, really cool, again. But coming back, same thing. It was really cool coming back. 134 to the 210, down to the 10. Got some in and out there at the In and Out University there, off Francisquita Avenue in Azusa area there. And then just took the 10 all the way home, whoosh, all the way to the 62. It's great. It's great. Listen to radio shows. My daughter was on her phone fucking around the whole time. She didn't bring her glasses. Usually when we're out late, she'll bring her glasses and change out of her contacts in case she wants to nap on the way home. But she didn't. So she was awake the whole time. But she was on her phone fucking around most of the time while I was listening to old-time radio shows on Sirius XM, which is what I like to do. Sometimes I like to just crank up the old music. But we had like enough of that at the event. They were piping in music at the event, which was great for my daughter and everybody and myself. But by the time we left there, I'm like, no radio. We drove in silence to In and Out. And then after In and Out, I put on some old-time radio. It was a bunch of suspense, which was really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, anyway, good morning. It's about 6:30 in the a.m. here on the Pacific Coast, Pacific Standard Time. I am crazy old weird bearded guy in the morning, drinking coffee. I just finished my cereal bar, drinking coffee and smoking weed. That's what I do. Having fun talking about the weekend that we did, the Valley Brunch Invitational out there in Encino, California, yesterday. That was day before yesterday on Saturday. I'm sorry, this is Monday. Got to meet Pete. Got to meet Pete Wentz, the Fall Out Boy, the bass player. That was fun. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool. We're going out again tonight. We're going to Hollywood, going to Sunset Strip. Going to the El Cid to hang out. We're going to chill out in a private booth and try to get our photographs that I just showed you signed. I'm going to try to get these puppies signed. Because my daughter is a super fan. She's pretty much a super fan. When it comes to her favorite music, she's not afraid to be a super fan, period. And that's cool. I'm glad that she's like that. I'm glad that she's becoming fearless like her father when it comes to going out and trying to hook up with a celebrity for a brief moment for some kind of positive encounter. That's it. And these were fantastic, positive encounters we had. While he put his hand out for a handshake, I'm so used to fist bumping nowadays because all of the kids and everybody fist bump, right? I should have shook his hand, but he put out his hand and I put out my fist, so he turned to a fist and gave me a bump, which was cool. Usually I'm the one to put out a hand and go for a full handshake because I'm old school. And I wish I had. I kind of wish I had gotten a hug because I'm a hugger too. Yeah, I'm hoping that I get my wife and or daughter out with me Saturday on the 28th outside by the back door quick at the end of the show so I can get my moment with Big Sandy. Although I think I am going to drive out there early again on that night in the van and hang out and hope that I can get him between warm-up when he's going from the venue over to the cabin and get him for a moment to sign my photograph and to hopefully take another photograph. That would be great. I'd like to get a photo hugging Big Sandy because he's just such a sweetheart and a big huggable guy. I've got a gift for his wife Ruthie, so I need to make sure that I get that. So I need to take the photograph and the gift. I'm still hoping that I have time to do my reels and create a reel-to-reel pack for Big Sandy with all of his CDs burned onto the reel-to-reels. Yeah, for me that would be a pretty awesome thing to be able to, say, here, this is how much I enjoy your music. Here, it's on reel for you. Wow, I wish I had a reel-to-reel player. Well, here's a reel-to-reel player, guy. No weird strings or anything. I'm just an old guy who's trying to live out the rest of his life with, giving and sharing and positivity and fun, and that's it. If you tell me that you're happy, that I just made you happy, that's all I require. That right there. You know? That's it. That's all. Because that would make me happy. Right? That's it. That's what I require to be happy, is to know that my presence is making others happy. That's it. I know. Presence. Not presents, but presents. Presents? I want some presents. Yeah, you are present. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If I can get my daughter out here for 1 or 2 days this week just to sit with me and pretty much listen to all of Big Sandy's stuff. It's like, okay, honey, I push play and then you push play. And then we just let it record. And when it's done, I push stop and then you push stop. Or vice versa. Whatever. And then we just do that for 10 CDs. On 5 reels, and that's it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take reels, and I'll take a new reel. I'll use the shortest reel that I can to fit just the time to have 1 CD per side, right? Or the longest, shortest or longest reel. And do just that and try to put them chronologically in order. And put 2 CDs per tape, 1 on each side. I don't know if I can do that. If I have to do it one side only because I'm splitting the stereo, right? Then it's just going to be one side, right? Just 2 CDs on one side, 2 CDs on one side. Any extra tape, I'll cut off. And then wind it onto another spool to use for something else. And then I've got splicing tape so I can splice them together. I think I have a lead, so I can put some lead on each one. I think they come with lead, but I'll have to check. But I'm real excited about trying to make this work. I've got 3 working reel-to-reels, the TR-3000s. And I would be willing to give one to Big Sandy if he doesn't have one. If he does not have one in his stereo system, I'm sure he probably does. I mean, an old school guy like him, he might actually have a small working studio in his house with a reel-to-reel player. Then again, maybe not. That might be too old school, right, to be necessary. But to have a reel-to-reel player on your shelf with a stack of your music on reel, you know, maybe he'll say, hey, I just put out another CD, could you put it on a reel for me? Man, would I be honored. So that's one of the things that I want to try to figure out by the end of the month before I go to see Big Sandy is, am I going to be able to get all of his stuff onto reel-to-reel? Will I be able to label it so it looks nice and presentable? Can I get some label stickers printed to just put onto the boxes? Today, I'm hoping that from the post office I get my 5 brand new in the plastic cases hard cases for reels, because that's what I'm going to use. And then if I have a nice spot on those to attach a sticker, then I'm going to be looking on printing or getting stickers printed, some kind of vinyl sticker that I can heat up the box and then stick that vinyl on there and just have it become part of it, right? Arr. Yeah. Yeah. I can probably find some place in town. Maybe the T-shirt girls can print me a couple of stickers. They can't be all that expensive. So we'll see. Or can you take these pictures and screen print them onto these boxes for me? How much does that? Not screen print, but photo transfer onto these boxes. Can we do that? Is that possible? And how much is that going to cost per box? So, yeah, I'm hoping. I'm open. I'm hoping I can pull this off, because that would be the ultimate thank you to someone. Because before Big Sandy, I was like, what? Rockabilly. Yeah, I know rockabilly. But Big Sandy drove it home, right? And he's my age, and he's been doing this since '88, right? Wow. And he's just killing it out there in the world, right? He's like playing every weekend. He's playing somewhere. It's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. All right, I am going to go take a leak and heat up my coffee. And I'll be right back, so don't go anywhere, all right? I'll be right back. No, really, I'll be right back. Yeah, I really love it when my daughter's not in school because we get to spend time together. I mean, even like going to the store. When she's in school, she's doing schoolwork and stuff. She like never wants to leave the house, never wants to go anywhere, do anything. Doesn't want to eat out, doesn't want to go to a groceries or shopping or anything. But when she's not in school, she's like, I'm bored. Let's do something, right? And yeah, and then we're constantly doing stuff, right? Or she gets so bored right in the middle of a semester, you know, she'll plan like every month or two, she'll plan something to do, right? Because she knows that she'll be right in the middle of a semester and just be like, oh, but it's not so bad if you know, well, you know, next week I'm going to a concert. And then this month is going to be okay. Next month I'm going to another concert. It's going to be okay. You know, we've got 3 things going on this month so far. Saturday, and then tonight, and then Saturday the 28th, we're all going to Big Sandy. So she's going to love that. She is going to love that. And I just, you know, hope that Big Sandy and his family are okay. Everything's okay, you know. Positive thoughts and positive energy for Big Sandy and Ruthie. It's tough. Being human is tough. You're born, you live, you die. The in-between part there, when you're living, that's the tough part. Being born is easy. Dying is easy. Well, sometimes. Most of the time it's easy. Your time's up. It's over. Sometimes the living and dying part are as one and they become a real bummer. Sometimes the living part, you don't know where you're going or when you're going, right? And that's tough. That's tough on anyone. And, you know, it's always a loved one. It always is. It's always somebody's loved one, right? There's no getting around it. Almost always somebody's loved one is involved. Yeah. In college, a couple of years back, my daughter took the same course with the same professor, Death and Dying. So our perspectives on life and living and death and all that stuff are very similar. Not just because of the teachings of the professor, but because of the way I've lived and the way I've expressed my feelings about life and death. I've never been one to treat my daughter like a little kid, right? She's pretty much grown up learning about the world the way anyone would, right? As an adult, not as a child. She's learned about death and dying and everything from the beginning, and you know, she knows the realities of the world, which she's got a strong mental constitution. Emotionally, she's a lot like me. But once she wraps her head around something, that's it. I'm really happy that she was able to take that class with the same professor because, and right before that professor retired too. Because it's, you know, it's important to have those lessons in life in various ways. I'll be right back. I got a dog situation. Okay, Oliver just went out, had to get some water, come out of Natalie's room, get some water, and then go outside. We'll see if he stays in there with my wife or wants to go back into bed with my daughter. Big Dog's not in bed with my wife, so he might get into bed with her. He don't like Big Dog, so if she's around, he usually tries to go into the other room. He doesn't hate her, he just thinks that she's kind of big and abnormal because he's with 2 other small dogs, and she's the last one to show up. And when she showed up, he's like, "What the hell is this? Where'd you get this mutation? You know, this ain't a dog. This thing's a giant." So he looks at her kind of weird, and he's always treated her weird, and he can't get around the fact that she's big. She tries to intimidate him, and he just says, "Fuck no, lady, I ain't moving. I ain't backing down." He's growled at her and snapped at her. He's threatened to whoop her ass before. And she knows she can take him, but she has to be nice because, you know, that's the rules in the house. No fighting. No fighting. It's pretty much the only rule. No fighting, no doing bad things in the house, and no eating stuff that you're not supposed to eat. That's pretty much it. Everything else, be a dog. Have fun. Be a dog. If you don't let your dogs be a dog, then they're just little humanized, domesticated pets that don't really act normal anymore, right? Our dogs act normal. They act like dogs. We are entertained by dogs. They literally run around the house and will play 2 or 3 times a day. Just all of a sudden, just zoomies, run, get into a room, jump on a bed, and just start attacking each other. And they will dogpile for an hour. And that's a sign of happy dogs. Happy, healthy dogs that just want to play all the time. You know? Of course, Big Dog doesn't quite get invited to these play parties because she's too big. Oh, jeez. So, yeah, I let the dogs do whatever they want. They have very few rules. My wife would probably like them to have more rules, but with more rules, you get stifled creatures who can't be themselves. And they sit in the corner and they shake and they cower because they're not sure what they're allowed to do, right? And I was a kid like that, you know, cowering in a corner, wondering what I was allowed to do. I don't want to see that in my dog's faces. I certainly don't want to see that in my daughter. So she's never been one to sit and cower in a corner, wondering what's going on. She don't have to wonder because more than likely she's been told, right? She's always been informed as far as what's going on in the family at any given moment. We never hide the reality of our existence from our daughter, right? Things get tough, and you don't want things to get tough out of nowhere and to be a surprise for a kid, because that will destroy a kid if they're not used to things getting tough and they never know tough and they never know things can get tough. It'll destroy them. I'll be right back. Yeah, that was the sound of Oliver jumping up into bed with my wife. And just as I opened the door, she was pulling the blanket down over the top of him, because they come up and they will do the whole scratching on the blanket thing, and then you got to open the blanket up, and they come in and they get in the blanket and they find their little spot. With Oliver, it's usually right in the anti-lap, right in between the back of the knee. The dog, he'll curl up right in there. That's his spot. He likes to get that spot. He's surrounded on 3 sides, and he's warm, he's tucked in, he feels like he's being hugged. It's a leg hug. But most of the dogs do that. The 3 little dogs, they get up into the bed, and they come to the head of the bed, and they scratch the blanket, and you got to lift it up and let them in. Because that's what they do. You know, and I'm a dog person. So I got no trouble sleeping with a dog. you know. I grew up using the family dog as a pillow, a heating blanket, right? Yeah, our pets weren't always as treated as well as I treat our pets now, but our pets back then, to me, they were like everything to me. Best friend. Well, it just flashed into my head when one of my dogs got hit by a car, and I was in like the 7th grade, and it was my dog, and it just got out of the fence, went right onto the highway and got hit, just like that, and didn't die quickly, and that was horrible, and to this day, you know, it's like one of the worst experiences having a pet. The worst experience. No, I didn't want a dog after that forever. I just didn't want a dog. I was like, no, I don't want to ever go through that again. I don't want a dog. Never, ever, 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 ever. The family had lots of dogs, but they were just, to me, they were just dogs. I just wouldn't have anything to do with them because I was afraid that I was going to get hurt again like that, right? And that was horrible. And I used to walk around the neighborhood when I was ditching school, and I would make friends with stray dogs and strangers and dogs through fences and stuff, and that was okay because they weren't my responsibility. I didn't have to see them again if I didn't want to. It wasn't going to hurt me, right? And so I got into other people's dogs. I was an other people dog guy. Hey, nice dog. I like your dog. You know, really cool dog. And I would hang out, and anywhere I went and there was a dog, I would be with the dog and hanging out with the dog and playing with the dog, right? And then I'd just leave and move on and wouldn't have to. And I've got pictures. To this day, I still do that, make friends with dogs and take pictures of them. And then it wasn't until several years later that I acquired 2 German Shepherds, and even then it was horrible. I had 2 dogs that I couldn't take care of because I was a teenager. I was like 19. I had to give one of them away to a lady, which was fine because this lady was elderly. She was alone. She treated the dog like a king, named the dog King, and was planning to retire and move back home to England, but waited a couple of years, worked a couple of extra years so she could afford to take the dog with her and to get the dog through all of the customs and everything and the whole 9 yards, and she waited, took the dog with her back to England. The other dog, the female German Shepherd, was Romeo and Juliet. Juliet, she stayed with us and lived several years longer, but then my father's dog and my dog went out together, got loose, and went roaming around, and some asshole poisoned them, right? Now, back then, I would just get upset, right? Today, if something like that were to happen today, I don't think I could deal with it quite as strongly as I dealt with it back then. I would freak the fuck out. I literally would probably get into a lot of trouble going after somebody for hurting my family, period. Whether it's my wife, daughter, or my pets. Yeah, somebody would be in serious shit. And then I would wind up in serious shit because there would be no holding back. I would not be able to hold back. Emotionally, I would not be able to physically stop myself, right? And I don't ever want that. So my dogs, they rarely leave the house. And they stay fenced in all the time. They're always protected from the world as best I can. Yeah, because I would freak the fuck out. I literally would have to kill somebody. Period. Oops. I said it. And I mean it. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I mean, it's hard enough to get along in this world when you're always at risk from something, right? And then to go out into the world and just, you know, it's okay for a thinking, rational, conjugating human, right? But when it comes to a poor little defenseless animal who knows nothing about the world, I would rather they stay at home, you know, rather than risk something, anything, you know, just to, you know, well, I'm going to take my dog with me today. No, I used to think like that. Well, I'm going to take the dog, go to work, take the dog, do this, take the dog, do that. It's like after our dog Charlie of 17 years passed away, he had separation anxiety, so we had to take him everywhere. If we left him at home, he'd just crawl, climb the walls, wondering why he was alone, right? So we'd have to take him. He would just stay in the car. We'd go places. He'd cry. We'd walk him around. He went to my friend's wedding. He would go everywhere with us. After he died, we were left with dogs who were okay to be left alone. They would just go sit down and go to sleep while we were gone. In fact, when we got our dog, Sam, he lived with Charlie for a year or two, and Charlie was a lot better when Sam was around. He could be left alone in the house, and with Sam there, he wasn't alone, and he was okay, and he wouldn't climb the walls and freak out. He ate a little bit, but not much, because Sam was there with him. And now the dogs that we have now, they would, you know, we'd take off, and they just go to sleep. They just find a spot and go to sleep. I'm going to have to set up cameras so I can see what it is they actually do, because the house is always in fine condition when we come home, other than a few pieces of paper being chewed up from Oliver. Other than that, the house is usually in fine shape. So I want to see what it is that they do. Do they play? Does Oliver run around and yell at everybody? Does Big Dog bully herself around? I don't know. It'd be neat to find out. Totally. Yeah. You have to go out to the reservation tomorrow as early as possible. Or, I don't know, stop somewhere tonight and get something. One of these, there's pot shops everywhere nowadays, so I could probably just pop into a pot shop and grab a little something. I hate going to different places because I never know what I'm getting, you know, but then again, you never know. And I don't need much, you know, a little bit to hold me over for a couple of days till I get to the res. Unless it's a good deal, then yeah, sure, why not? But, yeah, I should probably have a little cash on hand for something like that, just in case. My daughter's going to do a raffle, so I said, well, get $40 so you can, if you really want to win, then buy a bunch of tickets. You know, it couldn't hurt. It's a gamble, but, you know, better your odds. You don't have to pay for a ticket, so there you go. That's what the raffle's for, to try to offset some of the cost. And if she does the raffle, $20, $40, that's $20 a piece. Kind of a donation for tickets, right? We'd probably pay $20 to get into a club, or, you know, $25 to get into Pappy and Harriet's for a Big Sandy. So, sure, spend $40 on a raffle. And even if you don't win anything, at least you know that you've helped support the event, right? And the event, I believe, is Pete Wentz has a record label, and he has a few bands under that label, and they're going to be performing at the El Cid this evening. So that's what we're doing. And then I guess he's going to do a small set doing DJ, which would be kind of cool. Like I said, I'm just kind of going there as a partner with my daughter so she can go, because nobody wants to go with her. None of her friends. They're either working or they're just not interested. So why not? She needs to go because she deserves to go. So we're going. And I'm kind of, excited about getting photographs signed and saying hi to Pete again. That's about it, If we have an opportunity to talk more, talk books or whatever, then so be it. That'd be great. If not, totally dig it. Yeah. I suppose I should do the whole search thing here. That is him. Totally. MTV Cribs. That's cool. That's totally cool. Yeah. Yeah, doesn't look like he posts a whole lot of this stuff to this page here. It seems as though he hasn't posted anything since 2020. So there you go. There's that. There you go. But then again, social media is kind of flaky because, it gets reputations, and then people, oh no, that's for old people. Oh no, that's for the past. Oh no, this is the new thing, and then the new thing becomes the old thing, and then it changes names, and now Twitter is what, Gash or Flash or Smash or something, or Dilbert, I don't know. So, whatever. There you go. Totally. Man. Alright, I was going to start talking to myself again here, but I'll refrain, because I know you're all like, he's talking to himself again. I shouldn't watch this. It seems kind of personal. Yeah. All right, so I do have more than one mental issue. I am starting to deal with memory loss issues, concentration issues, yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff. A little bit of dementia. But mainly I just drift off into my own little world, into my own memories, and kind of float around in a little bit of a haze. It's not always bad. At some point I may have to stop driving if it ever affects my driving. So far, when I get behind the wheel, I am the drive guy. So I'm hoping that lasts at least as long as I do. Or at least as long as I can still move myself around. Yeah, we'll see. That does it. Starbucks coffee is okay. It's really dark. I don't think I made it strong enough, but then I milked it down, so it's just possible I took the bite out of it. I don't want to drink too much more coffee this morning because, like I've said, I want to try to get back to sleep as soon as possible today, because we're going out to LA, and I'm going to be up late. Usually when we go out to LA, we're back at about 2 in the morning. When we came back Saturday night, we got back at 9, which was really good. The event was over at 5. And between stopping for dinner and going to the grocery store on the way home for dog food, we made it home by 9. So that was cool. 4 hours to get home? Really? Yeah. We didn't hit too much traffic. And we left the event just about 5 o'clock. So, wow. That's crazy. 4 hours to get home. I'm sorry, 3 hours to get home. What am I thinking? 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, it was 9 o'clock. We got home at 9 o'clock. So, hopefully we'll get something to eat before we actually leave and not have to stop. If my daughter's thinks she's going to want to take a nap on the way home, then she's going to have to take her contacts out before we leave wherever it is we're leaving from. Probably the venue, so that we can, and hopefully we'll just eat there, right? Just grab something that's enough to keep us fortified until we get home and get to sleep. I hate coming home hungry and then having to eat something before we go to bed. I like to eat before we leave. By the time we get home, we're just ready to jump into bed. Yeah. Just grab a dog and hop in bed. Grabbing a dog. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. A lot of fun. Life is rough. So try to make the best of it when you can, right? Because there are some times when you're just gonna get fucked. So try to have fun when you can. And I've always been like that since I was a little kid, because ever since I was a little kid, it was either we're trying to do something to have fun or we're getting fucked, right? And it felt like most of my childhood was getting fucked. Just getting fucked over. Yep. And it wasn't by friends, because I didn't have any friends when I was a kid. I didn't have a friend fucking one for like forever when I was a little kid. So I was getting fucked over by family and authority figures and perfect strangers, usually in that order, and kids my own age, my peers. Yeah, I never considered them peers because nobody's the same. We're not like each other, right? And I'm certainly not like anyone else I've ever known. So I don't feel like I have peers, right? I've got bullies and people who look down on me, basically, is what I've always been used to. Yeah. You're good, that's fine. Don't make the couch. Just try to lay down. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Don't make me get up again. Just lay down. You're a good girl. No coffee. Stop grabbing the cup. Yeah. Hasn't been like that for my daughter. While she has had trouble with authority figures at school, mainly the ones who just are there to do a job. They're just there to collect a paycheck. They're not even there to do a job, right? Because she has trouble with the instructors in high school who were just there to collect a paycheck. Here's a packet, do your work, sit there and be quiet. Don't ask me any fucking questions, right? And my daughter is like, shouldn't you be teaching? Isn't there something you should be doing? You're a rebel. That was the best thing that my daughter ever told me is when she came home from high school and one of her teachers called her a rebel. Well, you're just a little rebel, aren't you? Well, if it means that I'm here to be, instructed by an instructor and you ain't doing that, then yeah, I guess I'm a rebel. Because I want to be taught. I want to go into college with some fucking knowledge, right? And all you're doing is passing out fucking packets. Psst. What are you doing over there? What are you doing? Is your nose buried in the couch over there? Psst. Oh, she's a doofus. Doofus. Right back. Oh, I gotta show you this. So, Saturday, when we took off to go to the tennis open invitational thing there, right? When we took off, this was just an idea my wife had, right? She had made a few elements for it. Some little triangular diamond-shaped pieces. But other than that, this was just an idea that she had kind of laid out. By the time we got home, I told my daughter, you know what, I bet you anything that when we get home, she's going to have those pillows done. And she did. My wife made 2 of these pillows. Isn't that beautiful? My wife made this. Of course, my wife, she's the very, very, very creative one in the family. And she's very good with arts and crafts and anything to do with her hands, and she's on it, right? She is very creative. She makes pot holders every Christmas for friends. She knits one side and picks out patterns for the other. Now she's getting into quilting. This is her first step into quilting. So, yeah, she got a little bit of my daughter and my input on this, but for the most part, she came up with this all by herself. And we're like, that's awesome. And we're like, okay. I think the only suggestion we had was
for the leaves, leave them all with patterns. Don't have any solid color. Make them all individual, unique patterns, right? So that was one of the things that my daughter and I agreed on. We said, yeah, do that. And then we're like, okay, then make one side white, and then use the white to border the center square with the thing inside of it. And that was our suggestion, was to keep it that way rather than to something else. She had like, well, I can do it this way or this way or this way. And we were like, no, this is probably the best way for this. And so the only solid element is that little thing in the middle there. And everything else has a unique pattern. And it is so neat. So the next, and I told her, I think I discussed it the other day when she was tabling the idea of starting quilting. I mentioned that my input was to start off small, right? And that's small. So now I'm like, okay, well now I said start off small, do like a pillow, and then go to something a little bit bigger, like a throw blanket, or something to put over the back of the couch, and start off small and make little things until you get to where you feel confident on doing something really big, and we can set up a big table for you to do your final putting it together thing, And she's off and running. She's she always impresses the hell out of me anytime she uses her hands to do anything, whether it's in the kitchen or in the yard or at the sewing machine or just sitting in bed knitting. She's always it's fucking awesome. I need to try to come up with some bags for my daughter, a gift bag. I always keep bags when I do shopping and stuff, and I'm always keeping bags. And she needs a big gift bag, big enough to fit a vinyl record, because she likes to give vinyl as gifts, which is awesome because her friends have record players, right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. My daughter's friends have record players, and they buy each other records, right? And they listen to the records. My daughter's got a great 1979 Sanyo turntable that I bought for her. Put a brand new needle, a cartridge on it, and it goes through a 1980s receiver, realistic Radio Shack receiver, through some nice Radio Shack realistic speakers from back in the day. So she's listening to something that I would have been listening to back then. Same type of stereo. I've got a new turntable. I got a brand new turntable that's a DJ model that's all counterweighted and balanced and anti-skew and all of this shit, because I listen to a lot of old school records that one of the newer turntables, it would just bounce all over the place. But she has a very, very good turntable. It's got the balance and the anti-skew and all of the bells and whistles and stuff. So her record player doesn't jump around either when it plays something a little older. But I get thousands of records, so I gotta have something that will keep up when I want to sit here and put on records all day long. It's got to be able to survive, Oh, stop picking up the cup, Tommy. There's no coffee. No coffee. So last night we had dinner together. Actually, my daughter did not, because she had eaten earlier, right? She couldn't wait, so she ate, and then we went out and did our stuff, and my wife made mashed potatoes and reheated the roast beef and gravy, so that when we got home, my wife and I sat at the table and ate and watched a little TV. But it was really, really good. And then my wife also made a chocolate bundt cake.
that my daughter frosted after dinner. So I got to have a big, giant, ice-cold glass of milk and chocolate cake before bed, which was really awesome. I love chocolate cake and milk, especially when the milk is fresh and ice-cold. Yeah, it's a dream. And that'll be good tonight when we get home, to have a nice, big, ice-cold glass of milk and a big wedge of cake, and sit in here and watch a little TV and wind down from the driving, you know, because I hate going to sleep, closing my eyes and still seeing the lines and the headlights and brake lights and stuff. So rather than come home and go to sleep and then wake up at an hour later with a nightmare of driving while sleeping, I usually will come home and be just wide awake. So I'll spend an hour or two sometimes winding down. If it gets so late that I'm close to getting up to do the show tomorrow, I'll probably just pass out on the couch for an hour or two, and then just try to lay back and close my eyes. Because more than likely I'm going to be here tomorrow, unless I'm just so exhausted in the morning that I'm dead to the world and the alarm goes off and I just say, fuck it, they can go without me. Yeah, that's fine. You can totally do, like I said, you know, personal family life takes precedent over going out or this whole thing here, this whole going live, doing the YouTube thing. This is my hobby. My family is my life. This is my hobby. Next to my family, this hobby is my life. This and music and friends and that kind of stuff. I had somebody ask about the whole reunion thing, and I guess their question was, what's going to be the price per ticket for the event? And my reply was, we're going to try to keep the cost as low as possible. It just depends on the donations that we collect, because the whole thing is going to be done by donation. And then, because I don't want people to not come because it costs too much. I want people to come because it doesn't cost anything or cost next to nothing. $20, right? Who can't afford to spend $20 on a ticket? And if there's enough people coming and we've raised enough money, then we can keep the ticket price really, really low, if anything at all. You know, maybe the ticket price is send an RSVP so you're on a list, and we know how many people are coming so we know what to plan. That would be most important, is to get more people to say, hey, I want to come. Put me on the list. So people doing donations, most of the people donating are going to be donating first because they want to come, and second because they just want a shirt. Totally. Yeah, I might be stopping somewhere to get a little doobage on the way. Maybe there's some place right there on Sunset where I can just go in and grab something real quick. I'm going to go across the street. I'll be back in a minute. Leave her in line and shoot over and grab something. Just walk over. That would be great. I'm going to have to check that out. Check it out, baby. Check it out. Check it out. And maybe I'll have her do that on the way. Have her scope out some places. I don't require much, but I do have these edibles, so I'll probably take these edibles. I did eat one of those this morning, and it really hasn't done much to me. Yeah, I don't like to do those because
I never know how they're going to affect me or when.
So I usually don't. Especially if I'm going to drive. There's hell no. Hell no. Smoking is kind of different. I mean, if I've been smoking and somebody says, you know, I need a ride right now, then it's kind of like Star Trek Synthahol, where I can just say, okay, I'm not stoned anymore. Mainly because I've been getting stoned for 35 years. I can turn it off. I can say, no, I don't want to be high anymore. I want to be straight. And then I can fucking be straight, right? Like most of the time here, you would think if an average person had been smoking even half of what I've been smoking this morning, they'd be going, right? And I don't do that. On occasion, I can get a little silly, but it's not because I'm stoned, right? Mainly what this does to me is keep me from being depressed and keeps me from being in pain and allows me to be social. That's it. That's what pot does for me. Does it make me stoned? No. Does it make me intoxicated like alcohol? Not even the slightest. It just doesn't, right? If you're going to take somebody who's been drinking a couple of beers or whatever, right? I could smoke a whole lot of pot and out white line somebody who's only had a couple of beers. Period. Because like I said, you can shake it off. When you've been alcohol, you can't do. No matter how long you've been drinking alcohol, you can't just shake it off. At some point, you're going to give yourself away that you've been drinking, right? Even beside the smell, you're going to do something with your speech, with your mannerisms, with your face, with your eyes. Something is going to give your body language is going to give you away. You've been drinking. Usually I can look at 10 people and know which 2 people have been drinking. Period. No matter how much they've had. It's not that way with marijuana. I could look at 10 people and not be able to tell you which one of them was smoking unless they're new to it. That guy. That's it. Easy. But usually it's not like that. Yeah, anyway. Going out tonight. I guess I want to wear black 501s tonight since I wore blue ones the other day. I'm going to still wear my my corduroy jacket and hoodie because it's cold. And because that's kind of my signature wear right now. When I'm out just kind of doing stuff locally around the house, and you know, I like to wear my denim jacket that my wife got me, the exact same jacket I used to have back in high school, and she got me one, and it's freaking awesome. So I do like to wear that one too, but that corduroy one is kind of my signature shirt jacket thing. I need to see if I can find another one similar in a different color. I can change it up. I used to not have much of a wardrobe. My wardrobe used to be a pair of black jeans, a black t-shirt, a pair of black Vans, and a black hat, and that was it. That was kind of my wardrobe for several years, and before that it was just whatever I could find. You know, my wife would buy me shirts and pants, and on occasion I would buy something for myself that looked appealing, but I didn't put too much thought into it. It wasn't until a few years ago that I just decided, you know what, I'm tired of dressing, first of all, wearing a collared shirt, right? The collared shirt is like the yoke of the oppressor. I don't do collared shirts. I will wear them on occasion. I've got a flannel shirt that had a collar, and I had my wife remove the collar and stitch it back together, and it's a nice shirt. So I'm probably going to have her do a few more shirts like that. Just get rid of the collar, baby.
But you know, most of the shirts that I wear every day, even when we go out somewhere, it's a t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt. I've resigned to the fact that I want to wear something that expresses something about myself. So now I've got like almost 100 t-shirts that have something on there that says something about me. And then I pretty much wear the same thing I wore in high school. 501s, t-shirts with graphics on them, Vans, Nikes, and I keep it simple. If I'm going to get dressed up to go out somewhere, that's what I'm wearing. I don't wear ironed pants with creases. I don't wear collared shirts. I will definitely not wear a tie. I've got 6 fucking ties and a jacket and a suit, and I'm just not going to wear this shit. You know, if you're going to bury me in what I wear every day, and turn that American flag upside down and wrap me up in it before you torch me, because we're going down together. And as far as I am concerned, my whole life this country has been fucked up with its head up its ass. So even if you were to judge the American government by one thing and one thing only, all you would have to say is the treatment of the original Native American people here by the U.S. government. That right there alone is enough to judge harshly the American government. Even to this fucking day, right? 177 treaties or something broken, every single fucking one of them broken. Every one. Without fail, without asking or allowing the Native American people to be a party to that decision. No, we're just, fuck it. We've decided no. And what they'll usually do is they'll point the blame at the Native American people. You did something to make us not follow through with the treaty, right? You ghost danced, so we had to kill all of you and destroy the treaty, right? Because you did a dance that we were afraid of. Which is the exact cause of Wounded Knee. The exact cause of Wounded Knee in 1889. The exact cause was the Native American people were being treated unfairly, and they did a dance, ghost dance or sun dance, to try to ask for a way, a guidance, right? And, of course, as soon as the drums started beating and the paint went on, the stupid whiteys thought, oh, my gosh, they're going to go out and rape and pillage, which is exactly what the whites did, the non-natives. It's exactly what they did. You know, they went out and raped and pillaged and killed and stomped on little babies' heads. Why? Because Manifest Destiny said that they were better than those natives, and that they were allowed to do that just because God said that they were better. And those filthy savages, you know, they didn't know what to do with their land. They didn't know how to profit from their natural resources. So, you know, we're going to civilize them and give them, you know, give them a fucking bunch of bullshit is what they did. Yeah. It's all right there in books. I mean, all you got to do is pick up books and read this stuff. Read the history that the U.S. government does not want you to hear, you know. Because Wounded Knee, 1889, and Wounded Knee, 1973, and everything that happened in between there and before there and since then, it's just never ending. It's all the same shit, you know. And it hasn't gotten any better. You know, oh yay, they get to have casinos now. The reservations are still fucked. There are still reservations that have no running water. You know, and why? Because of the greed involved. You know, how dare you want to take care of each other? It's just fucking bullshit. It's more bullshit. More bullshit. Eventually I'll finish this book. It's hard to get through the book Lakota Woman because it's so real, right? And it's told from the point of view of somebody who's had that reality. And it's hard. It's hard to get through. So I'll read a chapter and then digest it for a day, 2 days a week, weeks, and then move on. And I never seem to forget where I'm at. It's like, oh, this is right, this is where I'm at, and this has already happened, and I'm leading up to this. You know, it's just because it's so memorable. But it can be a tough read, you know. To hear that the people of authority trying to control this situation are just such shitheads toward their fellow human, right? It just kills me to watch that kind of shit happen. And it unfolds daily in our regular lives, right? Where we are just so shitty to other people when we don't have to be, right? When it's so much easier just to be nice and to be helpful and courteous, compassionate, yet we go out of our way, literally go out of our way to be horrible people to the people next to us. Because it may cost us something, it may cost us time or money, or stress. Oh my God, I gotta deal with this person. And so you're just a fuckhead, right? This person isn't bringing me things fast enough. Oh, you suck. It's like, give me a break, man. Let the person do their fucking job and be nice to them. They're doing their job to serve you, and you're gonna be a fuckhead? Give me a break. I've been that fuckhead before. I've been on both sides of that. I've been a fuckhead, and I've been treated bad by fuckheads. And it ain't, no way, no, neither side is good, right? What, do you feel good about being a fuckhead to somebody? No, I never felt, you know, anytime I was a fuckhead to somebody who was like, brought me the wrong shit or treated me poorly because of the way I looked, I'd feel like shit afterwards. I'd feel like dog shit for having been that asshole, right? Fuck. Yeah. So I know what it's like from both sides, and it just isn't good either way. It's easier just to be nice, you know. As much as I say that, as much as I want to be nice all the time, sometimes I feel like I'm absolutely driven to be an asshole by somebody because they're just doing it on purpose to get a rise out of me, right? A lot of times I will just ignore it and let them, you know, suffer with not having gotten a rise out of me. Sometimes they'll get it and they'll be like, oh, I wish I hadn't fucked with that dude. Me too. I really wish you hadn't, because I don't want to be this fucking guy. So don't make me be this guy. Just smile and wave. That's it. That's all you got to do. Smile and wave. And if you can't do that, then fuck off. Don't force me to be a fucking asshole, because I don't want to be that asshole. You know? Don't want to go there. Don't ride my ass in traffic, right? When there's plenty of road, but you got to be right on my fucking bumper, right? Don't do that, right? Because you forced me to be an asshole, and I'm going to make you eat my fucking bumper, and then I'm going to sue you and your insurance company because you were a fucking idiot and you couldn't just back the fuck off, right? And then if you want to pull over and do more than just exchange insurance information, if you want to exchange more, then I'll be happy to accommodate you. Just realize that I have only two outcomes from a situation, an altercation at this point in my life. I got only two fucking outcomes left in me. The prison or the morgue, man. So you have to realize that you're going to go to one, right? I'm going to go to one and you're going to go to one. We ain't going to go to the same one, right? You're going to go to one and I'm going to go to one. So Pick which one you want to go to and fight hard for that one, because I'm going to be fighting hard for the one I want to go to, right? And it ain't going to be the morgue. So, figure that out. Don't fuck with me unless you want one of those two outcomes, because that's what you're going to get. I will give no quarter. I will not back down. I will not say, okay, no, I'm done. I've been fucked over by bullies my whole life. Look, if you're going to fucking kill me, but realize that you're going to have to kill me and you're going to go to prison. Okay? Period. Or you're going to force me to take your life and I'm going to go to prison. I'm okay with that. I'm at the end of my life anyway. I don't care. If it means going out a coward or going out strong, I'm going out strong. Period. So if you fuck with me, be sure to finish the job. Okay? Because I won't just fucking give in and back down. You put a gun in my face and want to take my wallet, fine, take it. It ain't worth fucking with. If you're that kind of asshole, right? And you need a something to prove that you're better, well then fucking take it. You must need it more than I do, right? You ain't gonna get much out of me anyway, you want my pen? Sure, you ain't gonna get much out of it anyway. There might be $100 in there, so go for it. Now, you do the same thing with one of my family with me present, and then you pick. You pick prison or morgue, because I am going to jump on you and eat your fucking face if you point a gun at my family. That's it. You point it at me, that's fine. I've had guns stuffed in my faces before. I don't give a fuck. I ain't afraid of a gun. You pull the trigger, just point it at my head. All right, that's all I'm saying. Is point it at my head. If you ain't gonna wing me, then just point it at my head. Period. But don't think that I'm gonna be influenced and afraid of a fucking gun. Okay? Yeah, I know exactly what it's gonna do to me. Are you afraid to use it? Because I ain't afraid to fucking get killed. Period. You killing me means me not dying horribly later. Okay? So, fuck you. Fucking kill me then, bastard. Do what you're gonna fucking do. You ain't gonna fuck with them, though. You fuck with them and I'm gonna force you to fucking kill me. Period. I'm a nice guy. I'm like the nicest guy in the world. Unless you pick that bad choice of fucking with that other guy that lives inside of me, right? You don't want to fuck with him. You fuck with me all you want. I'm used to it, but you don't want to fuck with him because he's not going to take it. He don't give no quarter. I can't control him. Okay, we live in two different worlds. You step into his world and he's going to eat your face. You stay in my world and we may wind up friends, right? Don't force that guy to come out and eat your face, because he will, and he will not. That little guy, he's that little kid, that little 8-year-old kid, 9-year-old kid that was bullied back in grade school. You don't want that kid to come out, because he's the one that's going to eat your face. Seriously. He's the one that almost became a serial killer. I stopped him when he was young and caged him up and kept him hidden, all right? And he's popped out on occasion and has scared the fuck out of people before, including me. And so I don't want him out. I don't want him about. You don't want that little 9-year-old kid to come out and jump on your face and start chewing, because you're not going to be able to stop him. Not when that little kid is full-size adult strength. Mm-mm. No. You don't want that kid to come out. So I try real hard to keep that that part of me hidden away. There are other people inside me that act as a buffer between me and that little kid. But they don't always keep that kid quiet. I'm getting a little worked up here. Yeah. Yeah, just a little. I gotta grab an aspirin here. I'll be right back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I got ice water and aspirin. Yeah. It's probably that damn Starbucks coffee. It's probably just overloaded with caffeine. Probably made it too strong. But then again, I don't exactly have a strong heart, so there you go. Which is kind of a mixed blessing, right? Because while I'll probably die of a heart attack or heart failure at some point, it's going to be a lot easier than dealing with dying of cancer. So I'm like, okay, that's one way to go. It might be the better way to go. So, yeah. I feel better already.
Oh my gosh, and it's 8 o'clock, of course, which is why I feel better, because now I can get my day started, which is probably going to be going back to sleep here pretty soon. Have some breakfast, go back to sleep, and relax for tonight, because yeah, we're going to L.A. Going back to L.A. All right, people. Well, you know what to do. I mean, we've been through this before. You know what? I've been doing this for over a year of morning shows. And what I really like to do is say good morning and goodbye. You know what to do out there. All right, everybody. Be kind. Be nice to each other. Spread peace and love and not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but just as much, do something for somebody else, because we are not alone in this world, people. We're together on this, all right? All right. Most especially, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. All right, people. Love you. Adios. I will see you in the morning. Have a good one. Bye.